Yeah, check that.
Don't just look at the pay. You need to look at what the job's all about and whether you're the kind of person that they're looking for.
Mills and Reed would put in their adverts the tasks required for the job and the skills required as well. Then they would also explain how they would like you to apply for the job. So they would ask you to put in your CV and covering letter and explain why you wanted the job.
Okay, so let's highlight the important words that show what the employer's looking for. Can you really see yourself doing this job? Is it really you?
The information that generally goes in the advertisements for the job description is quite general because we work on a variety of campaigns, so it's hard to be specific. But what we concentrate more on is more around the personal specifications, just mainly looking for attitude types.
Person specification details the skills and the personal qualities that we will be looking for in the person who is successful in getting the job. Now that could be an academic qualification, so an NVQ 2 or 3 for a healthcare support worker, or it could involve skills such as team working.
Personal specifications that we would look for somebody wanting to work at B3. Someone quite confident, someone who feels that they would be able to deal with customers on the telephone, someone that's quite determined when they're dealing with them but without being aggressive or confrontational.
So what have we got to do? This one says to apply with a CV and covering letter.
But this one says that we need to apply online.
A good application from an individual will include information, supporting information which demonstrates they've read the job description, they understand what the job involves, and they're telling me in the application how they think they can do the job and why they want it. And they will also reference the person specification, which shows the particular skills and the particular qualities we're looking for, and again they're demonstrating in their application that they've got those skills and those qualities.
Next stage after they've read the advertisement and if they're interested is to contact me. There is the telephone number if they want to find more about the job, and if they're happy to apply, then they need to send in a CV and a covering letter. This is quite different from other organisations where they might have an application form that they need to fill out. We just tend to concentrate on a CV with a covering letter.
It says the interview will be on this day. If you're going to apply, you better put it in your diary and keep it free.
I have seen some awful applications, and those applications have shown things like the supporting information being completely blank, supporting information having lots of spelling errors, poor grammar, text speak. All of those things will ensure that your application form is immediately sifted out.
I think top tips for CVs are a nice structure, nice headings on it, and also make sure that your spelling and grammar is excellent, because when we're trying to shortlist down to just a few, if there's a spelling mistake on it, then it will not be shortlisted. And then just probably the final thing is just to make sure that it's just on two sides. And I've had CVs that come in that are just really lengthy, and when you've got to get through a lot of them, you know, you don't actually tend to read them if they're too long.
The NHS will always look for 2 references for each application, and for people who are starting to think about applying for posts, they're leaving school, they're 16, 17, then it makes sense to start thinking about who will be your referees before you start applying for posts. So, for example, a school leaver might think to ask their head teacher or their tutor if they'd be willing to act as a referee for them, and that person can then give some information within the reference around their personality, what they've achieved at school, and cover such things as attendance record.
We always expect to get 2 references. We would understand, obviously, if you're coming out of college or you're a student, that you wouldn't have an employment reference. So we would ask you to ask one of your teachers or a senior member at the college to give you a reference. And then we would ask for a family friend to do a character reference.
Oh look, this one says I should call this person for an informal chat about the job.
Oh no, don't do that. You need to think carefully about what you're going to say first.
You shouldn't ring an employer if you haven't got any questions to ask.
You should take the opportunity to ring, as it shows you're interested and have taken the initiative. The employer is therefore more likely to remember you.
Just remember that they might be using this informal chat as a way of seeing if you're suitable for the job. Almost like an initial interview.